All right, so Colts cornerback Kenny Moore got an injury update on him today from Shane Steichen's press conference, from his little media availability, and there's no timetable. And from it being a calf injury, being no timetable, he was asked the question, is IR an option, and is this a significant injury? Shane Steichen was like, no, IR isn't an option right now, and he's like, it's not significant, it's also applying that it's not significant, but it's not really good. So what is this going to be like I have a feeling this is like a 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4 week type of a thing. And if it was longer, then he would go on IR. Um, it sucked to lose Kenny Moore, man. I mean, he's one of the better slot cornerbacks in the league. He has such a presence in that slot there, and I think we're gonna see it. Within these next couple of weeks, I don't expect him to be. I don't expect him to play the Rams game. I don't expect him to play the Cardinals the next week. I don't expect him to play either of those two games. You could almost guarantee it for me that he won't play. And there are a couple of options out there. The biggest one a lot of people are talking about is Mike Hilton, who play with Lou Anarumo over in Cincinnati. Mike Hilton is pretty good slot option. I think he could come in. He knows Lou's system well, so I think he could come in, and I think he would do a phenomenal job. I don't think he'd be as good as Kenny Moore. He is as good as Kenny Moore, but he's a different kind of a player, different kind of a slot cornerback, in his own way. So it sucks to lose Kenny Moore potentially, but for a little bit of time. I don't think he's going to be out for the season, but that's also another thing. I mean, when you have a calf injury, they are so tricky to deal with. I mean, we saw with Andrew Luck towards the end of his career, they couldn't figure it out. We see it all the time. Calf injuries are so tricky. Teams and doctors, and they have such a hard time getting a good grasp on these injuries and being, and getting a good timetable. You really can't put a timetable. That's why they really don't have one on it yet, because they just don't know. That's just the nature of the injury. So I would expect Kenny Moore to be out for a little bit, and then I believe Jonathan Taylor dealt with the calf at one point. I don't remember if it was a calf or just an ankle sprain. I think it was an ankle sprain, a high ankle sprain, and then he dealt with the calf injury as well. The calf injury is no joke. It's no joke, no matter what it is. When you hear calf, especially for a slot cornerback, when Kenny Moore, he counts on that speed. He counts on that quickness to get in and out of cuts, to to plant and move around. So, and he's pretty fast too. So the fact that the calf is the issue, that makes it even worse. Any injury isn't good, but any like lower body, like a calf or some kind of knee or an ankle, when you're a cornerback or receiver, really anything, but the cornerback relies so much on cutting, and especially in the slot, it's more important than ever, to be honest. So Kenny Moore potentially going down for the next 2 to 3 weeks hurts. If we get past the Rams, I think we have a good shot at beating the Cardinals. I think we should beat the Cardinals. I think we're overall the better football team. But if regardless, if we get past the Rams, even without Kenny Moore, I still think that this team is legit and they're ready to go places. But another player we must talk about dealing with injuries is Alec Pierce. Shane Steichen stated in the presser that he's in the concussion protocol. So will he be back for the Rams? I don't know. So it's seeming like once again the Colts are going to be left pretty short when they're playing a better football team. Week 1, they were pretty much healthy. They didn't have anyone healthy. Week 2, Broncos, you had Charvarius Ward, and on the offense you had I don't remember if you had someone out on the offense. I feel like we did. No, I don't think. I think it was just Charvarius Ward out week 2, and lot two, and Charvarius Ward. So we had 2 guys on the defense, and now going in the Rams into week 4, looks like we're going to be without Kenny Moore. And there is a good possibility we will not have Alec Pierce, which is going to suck, because Alec Pierce really provides that big-time deep threat. But I don't think we're going to miss it as much. I think we're going to get. I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise, because we're going to be able to get to see some A.D. Mitchell. And to be honest with you, I am more than confident in A.D. Mitchell stepping in and and having a big role in this offense, or just doing his part. I think he's more than capable. Very good route runner. He knows how to separate, catches the football well. We saw the big play he made a couple weeks ago. He beat Pat Surtain a couple times, so really shows you what what he's got. And the Rams have a really good defense. It's a tough defense, good defensive line, good secondary, all around. It's it's a well-rounded defense. So, but Kenny Moore probably won't have him. Alec Pierce probably won't have him. Going to the concussion protocols, it seems like it's rare for players to play the next week. I mean, it happens. It doesn't not happen, but it seems pretty rare. And then after that 1 week, typically they come back. It's typically very rare for them to be out 2 weeks. It's rare for them to be back the very next week, and it's rare for them to be out 2 or more weeks. And if they're out for 2 or more weeks, then it's a pretty significant concussion that you got to worry about. But I don't think I got anything else for you guys. So appreciate you guys tuning in to this little update video on Kenny Moore. Go Colts! Enjoy this win while we could, but it's also time to start looking. Something I want to tell you that I want to tell us. Sometimes I have to tell myself too. Look, enjoy this season, okay? Look, it's easy and it's fun to already be looking ahead at winning the division, going to the playoffs, and potentially being a dangerous playoff team. But look, the NFL season goes by as fast as it is. It doesn't slow down. It goes as fast as it is already. Don't make it faster. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy every game. Enjoy every day. Being undefeated so far. Just enjoy it in the moment. Enjoy it as it goes. Because like I said, this the football season goes it goes fast regardless. And if you just can't wait to get to the playoffs, if you can't wait just to just for the Colts to win the division and see what they got there, then you're probably there's a good chance you get disappointed if they don't reach your expectations. So look, just enjoy every week, enjoy it as we go, and enjoy it in the moment. But go Colts! Hopefully they can get healthy. Kenny Moore probably not out for this season, but it's a calf injury. We really don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll be updated as the year goes on. As the week goes on. Shane Steichen will be asked questions. Lou will be asked many questions. And then Alec Pierce, just a concussion protocol, the typical thing for the concussion. So appreciate you guys for watching. This is a JDW Sports Network bringing you another Colts segment here for Kenny Moore being injured, Alec Pierce. Just kind of package a couple things in this video. But I appreciate you guys for watching. This is Jason. And if you enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on. We're 80 subscribers away from 2,000, on the road to 2,000. So almost there. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.